How do I do this? Okay, welcome everyone. Because of time, I just want us to get moving, and then those that want to join us will be joining us, and then we can be able to deal with it. I'm not sure if you can hear me on TikTok, those of you on TikTok, but I'm just going to crack on and really focus on what we want to do. By the way, my name is Anthony. I Just to give you a little bit of a background, you can do some Google search about me a little bit, but I am a program manager for one of the councils in the United Kingdom. My background is fundamentally in the delivery space, delivering different technologies. I started out my campaign really working for the biggest stadiums in the country, as a project manager, and then went on to sort of deliver different schemes for local governments. I think I have approximately, you could say, 26 different certifications. I have 2 charterships, and I have, like I said, worked for both private and public sector, the financial services institution, as well as the local government space, and then also the tech world is sort of been my go-to. So I've done a bit of the technical world a little bit more, and then I've also done the delivery space a lot more too. So I have the best of both worlds. At the moment, I specialize in digital transformation, cybersecurity, data analysis, and then project delivery. My sound. Okay. I know why. Um, my sound. Okay. Can you hear me on TikTok? What about the sound? Is it better on TikTok? Can you hear me? Okay. If you can hear me, let me know so that I can crack on. All right, cool. The future of tech and project management jobs, navigating the landscape. Okay. One of the things that I wanted to quickly sort of talk about is some of the things that I've posted on a few of the platforms. As of today in the UK, Tony Blair's think tank actually predicts that 3 million jobs will be lost as a result of artificial intelligence. 7 months ago, it was predicted that they would actually, there will be a an over job losses could all potentially hit about 8 million in the UK. Now, I really think this is probably modest numbers that we're seeing in terms of what is possible with artificial intelligence and the future of work. And so we are going to sort of look at this in detail, but I really want to give you a good idea of what is really happening. Where are we with the market space? What is the fundamental challenges that people are facing? And what to expect as we move into the AI world. So I have a few videos that I want to sort of quickly play for you. Let me just get it out. So this is a video from, let me just play this video now that I think is going to be good. Let me just share the sound, make sure that the sound is there. Okay, share sound. Okay, now first video is this.
What are AI agents and how are they different than typical AIs? So AI agents can have side effects. They can book flights, they can call hotels, they can take actions that you instruct them to do. Whereas a normal AI, or rather a large language model, is typically what we think of when we think of AIs, but that's just basically when you send a text and you get a response. You send a text and you get a response. And you might have seen, you might have tried to look something up and had it say, I'm sorry, I can't search the web, because that's an agent's responsibility to be able to search the web. So agents, again, take actions as opposed to just take an input and then create a statistical response. So create a response based on the distribution of text as it's learned it. So hopefully that makes sense. If you have any questions about this, please leave a comment below, and also let me know what other things you want me to define or explain or elaborate on. So yeah.
Okay, so the first thing that you need to understand is the presence of what we call AI agents. Okay, and then the second thing I want you to know is
Back in
automation.
NXN, new automation.
So
Here we go. So
Bear
check
with
this
me.
out.
Watch this
This
video as well.
automation is going to send you a list of latest news about the company for every meeting in your calendar each day, keeping you up to date with your leads and with your meeting partners. This is my calendar for today, and let's say that I have a meeting with Adidas at 12:15 p.m. Every morning at 7 a.m. this automation is going to start running automatically. After that, we are going to use the News API to get all the news related to the company. We are going to use this software, the News API, and we are going to be able to search worldwide news with code. Whenever we have that, we are going to get the meetings for today, and we are going to filter those meetings. So if we have an appointment with Adidas, for example, we are going to extract the company name, we are going to get the latest news, and we are going to format for email, because here is JSON and we want text, and here we are going to create the email. And if we don't have an appointment, it's just going here, no meetings today, because here is true, here is false. Alright, so let's try it. Let's test the workflow. Boom, 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 get meetings for today. Extract company name. Let's see if we have Adidas here. True. Here, meeting with Adidas. Excellent. Company name, Adidas. Let's say the latest news. Okay, excellent. We have the description. The Adidas drops a 3 Aurora. URL. Let's see the email. Excellent. This is the email that we received. Latest news for meeting with Adidas. And here we have all the news. Pretty cool. So
Now, this brings me back to what I was saying, that this is what's happening in the world today. Artificial intelligence is the bane of our society. We have AI taking over pretty much everything. Now, the ones that we know are the large language models that everybody uses, but there are agents that are coming. Agents, I think Anthropic, Claude actually released the first agent for everyone to use. And then we have automation tools that have come to stay. Now, all of these have direct implications on what companies will do and how companies will behave in the future. So whether you like it or not, jobs are going to have to, the way work is happening has to change. It's not going to be like this anymore. And I was having a conversation with a good friend of mine. I said, look, the nature of the reality is the world is not going back. And so we have to accept the reality of what has happened. Jobs are going to be lost as a result of artificial intelligence, automations, and large language models. And that's the reality. And we have to accept that as part of it. Now, for those of you that can see this because you're on the call with me, this is pretty much the different groups that we have as far as jobs are concerned. Jobs have been categorized into what we call colors. So we have the white collar job, blue collar job, pink collar job, green collar, gold collar, gray collar, and then no collar. Now, with AI, artificial intelligence, with automation, with large language models, you can already be able to see that, for example, a financial analyst job, 2%, 20%, 10% of the job can actually be automated. And if that's the case, then you naturally will reduce the amount of financial analysts that are actually needed to do a job, right? Software developers today, there's Cursor, there's different large language models that can do the work of a software developer, not entirely, but at least 10%, 20, 30, 40% of them can be automated, and you can use large language models to actually help you do the job. The likes of carpenters, plumbers, construction workers, to be perfectly honest, another 5-10 years before we will see real direct impact into that space. But then when it comes to pink collar jobs, you have nurses and teachers. Very soon, we're going to have robots that ultimately will be able to teach us, and we wouldn't need human beings to do certain things anymore, right? Then you have, content creators. We have new tools that today you can actually do your podcast without human beings being there. And that's being tested as we speak. So you can see that a lot of the roles that we have in every single category is going to experience some type of shaking in the months and in the weeks and in the years to come. It's only a matter of time. If you have automation, artificial intelligence, and then you have all of these different technologies coming into play, you're going to see that more and more of these roles are going to see a change in the way things are done. Currently, the forecast as of 2023 was that we were expecting to see some real spending. As of today, Splunk has literally confirmed that the expenditure within the IT space has reached 5 trillion. We were expecting at least 92 million roles in the market as far as remote jobs. The tech world were expecting about twice the rate of overall employment across different economies. And then we're expecting an outlook of maybe 35% of, new employment opportunities because of because of artificial intelligence and automation. However, we can all attest to the fact that today we are all experiencing significant layoffs in the market space, As of October, 3,600 jobs were lost because of artificial intelligence and a restructuring exercise. In 2024, we are heading towards 100,000 between quarter one and quarter two. Figures for quarter three and quarter four have not been released yet. But we already know that the trajectory is about 3 million jobs being lost because of artificial intelligence. And so we know that even though the spending is going up, right? 5 million as far as 5 trillion, as far as total expenditure within the IT industry, the job market is considerably, is experiencing real problems and real issues today. So something is not right. Something is fundamentally off. If the goal is to invest more money and create more jobs and create more opportunities and help people to become more and more, make work much more easier, faster, simpler, better. Yet the reality is that we have a downward spiral for employment, in as much as close to 100,000 people, losing their job. And this is going to be an ongoing exercise between Q3 and Q4, which is where we are really sort of going. You can see that the rates, the figures will go up. So what's really happening? Well, primarily is because of the COVID-19 exercise that we all experienced. Companies expanded too much and then eventually realized that they were too big, and so they had to cut down on a lot of the resources, and that's what we are seeing, right? Then there's economic uncertainty. We can all sort of see political tensions, interest rates going up, conversion rates for different countries, the dollar and your currency rates, all of those things we can all see that there's real fundamental problems in the economies today. And then artificial intelligence, as you've sort of seen, we have real case studies to show that artificial intelligence is really changing industries and it's changing sectors, right? But the biggest point, the biggest takeaway that I want you to sort of take on is the fact that most companies are focusing on efficiency and profitability from now onwards. That 5 trillion that you've seen as investment within the tech world is really about efficiency and the adoption of AI. Companies today are adopting artificial intelligence primarily to be able to be efficient and increase their profitability. So, hence why, even though there's a lot of money in the market, really, they are still cutting down because that's what they're going to do. That's the goal. The next 3 years, you're going to see more and more a shift towards real life efficiency case studies or real life. See, this is the thing. If I'm a business person and I can literally get rid of 10 people so that I can, and I can use machines, artificial intelligence, robotics, and, all these agents to do my work, then I'll do it because ultimately it means that more profitability for me, more money towards my pocket, individual pocket, and then I don't have to deal with all the baggage that comes with employing more people. Then we also have what you would call a knowledge-based economy moving towards a skill-based economy. White-collar jobs very soon are going to go in extinct. This is the reality. Any job where the work can be automated naturally will see a change in the way things are. I listened to a podcast not long ago of a guy saying that computer science, or the way we build software, as it were, the old ways of doing it is gone, right? And that's the reality. Today, we don't really care too much about whether or not you've got a degree in computer science. The market requires that you are very competent with a skill. Can you really code? Do you know front end, back end, all the frameworks? Do you have experience with software engineering exercise? That's what they want to see, because more and more we are driving for efficiency. One of the things that I do for a lot of the local councils and the government is to look at resource planning. And I have what you say, a data analysis tool that calculates people's work based on complexity, based on the actual phases that the projects are in, and the actual phases that the life cycle of the individual projects that we are working on. And I can already begin to see a shift where, entry-level roles are just being, the task and the responsibilities of those roles are being distributed amongst, middle management, and then we are getting rid of any single waste that is not necessary. So the economy is gradually shifting. It's no longer a knowledge-based economy. Now, it doesn't mean that people shouldn't go to school and people shouldn't get their certificates and not, but you're going to realize that there is not enough entry-level roles for people to come and do, because that is being distributed to middle management or to senior management. The only way you can compete in this market is really to come in and have the skills, the knowledge, the experience, the business acumen, and a command of the tools and the technologies of the trade. So these are the major reasons why today the market is very, very difficult. Then, as I showed you, there is a redefinition of the roles in the tech and project management space. We're going to see over the next 5 years, 3 to 5 years, a lot of the roles that we used to sort of think is necessary, companies are going to get rid of them because they can use automation, they can use artificial intelligence, they can use these agents to do the work. I have a friend who said she wants to do virtual assistance work. And I said, that's good. You can probably get to work between now and the next 3 years maximum. But after that, we are all going to use agents to actually do the work. Right? We're all going to use agents to do the work. So eventually, you're going to get to a point where some roles are going to be not needed. For example, like I said, virtual assistants. If I use agents and they can book my holidays and, organize my diaries and whatnot, naturally that is going to go away. I have a friend who works for some of the biggest banks in the country. At the moment, she's a 6-figure lady who does very well. And I had a very good conversation with her and said, look, your role is not going to be available in the next 1 year. That I'm very sure, because their role involves writing and really taking minutes from directors and board of directors within a company. So any role where artificial intelligence, automation, large language models, robotics, and the advancement in these type of, technologies will ultimately take over, those roles are naturally not going to be here within the next maybe 5 years. Maybe 5 years. I don't want to sort of speed up the process because AI, generative AI has not necessarily been, developed yet. Salesforce, guys, I am on, I know there's a lot of you now on TikTok. If you want to join, I think it would be good for you to come on Zoom. This is where it is. Let me get the link for you so that you can join us on Zoom. If you want to join on Zoom, the meeting ID is 880-2709. Somebody can type it up and pin it. 880-2709-5422. And the passcode is 692818. If you want to join this Zoom call, the meeting ID is 880-2709-5422, and the passcode is 692818. 692818. Let me pin this comment. Those of you that are here, can you hear me loud and clear? You can, I assume. Okay. If you're on Zoom and you can hear me, let me know, please. Let me know that you can hear me.
We can hear
Yes,
you,
sir. We
sir.
can hear you very loud and clear.
Okay. Emerging technologies. Artificial intelligence and machine learning, automation tools, cloud-based collaboration tools, predictive analysis, blockchain, cloud native development, low code, no code platforms, Internet of Things. Now, this is very important because they all have an impact in every single industry, right? And here's what you need to understand. The world we're living in is run by computers. I don't know if you saw when what is it called? That little CrowdStrike bug that eventually disrupted most industries from the aerospace to the airports and whatnot. The entire world is run by technology. So the gentleman that is busy in a farm somewhere that doesn't see the direct implication of a lot of these technologies will soon realize that the advancement in maybe robotics or whatnot will eventually drive down costs, making it very, very difficult for him or her to compete. So when we say emerging technologies, we're not restricting it directly to just technology space. We're saying that every industry is going to see an impact of artificial intelligence. Automation tools. I showed you a video specifically because I want you to see the level of where we are going when it comes to automation. Automation is something that is, listen, if you can automate just 10%, I mean, I consult and work in a local government, right? And you're talking about approximately between 5,000 to 10,000 people that work into that in that space. If you automate just 20% of the work, you can get rid of maybe 1,000 to 2,000, maybe 1,000 without exaggeration. That's a lot of salaries, right? So when we say automation, it's not something that you can close your eyes on. The more and more you see these advanced technologies beginning to now interconnect and work together, you're ultimately going to see a lot of change in the world. So your agents, your automation, predictive analysis is very huge today. Blockchain, which is gaining a lot of popularity now back because of, Trump and whatnot. Low code, no code platforms. I mean, like I said, we've got Cursor. I actually started building an application just talking to Cursor and I was doing my work, Internet of Things, the interconnection between all the technological tools that we use today. And all of that provides some element of data and it transforms the community that we're in. My plans. Well, this is one thing that I have said, that I don't think anybody should be planning beyond 3 years. A lot of the things that I'm going to say now, typically, I think you need to look around maximum 1 to 3 years because the changes that we're going to see beyond 3 years, we don't even know. My predictions are after another 10 years, only hard labor job, manual labor jobs, and roles that really, really require the interface of humanity. Roles that require you to deal with people like nurses, doctors, teachers, physical roles that require you to actually meet people. Those are the roles that are going to be that are going to be in high demand. Every other role, you'll have very selected few people that are going to run it, because after some time, you're going to see that a company of 100,000 people, they're going to reduce it to 10,000 people to run it because you can automate 50% of the work and you can use artificial intelligence to improve your efficiency. So you wouldn't need that much. So the next couple of years, you're going to see that artificial intelligence understanding is going to be something that everybody will be expected to have. I've said it that in some few years, you see a big, massive divide. The world is going to be divided into two kinds of people: those that use AI, machine learning tools and whatnot, and those that don't. And that divide is typically going to create, the new type of rich and the new type of poor in our society. Secondly, is those that have an understanding of data analysis. Anyone that has capabilities or an understanding of data analysis is really going to do well. And so being able to understand relational databases and working with languages such as Python, SQL, just general critical thinking around data is going to be something that, from a technical perspective, this is what's going to drive and run the world. And then, of course, cloud architecture knowledge, if you have it, is going to be very, very good for you. Soft skills, digital leadership, your ability to lead with digital tools and technologies, managing virtual tools. Yes. Change management, people that understand and embrace change, emotional intelligence, and human skills. Now, project management or project delivery roles. I did a video not long ago and I said that there are roles that are in high demand, high supply. For the last 10 years, We've seen a lot of people go and train to be Scrum Masters, Agile project managers, IT project managers, enterprise Agile coaches, cybersecurity project managers, cloud security project managers. If the job market is low and we have a lot more people with those skill sets in the job market, right? That domain of high demand roles that once upon a time used to be very, very demanded, that's not going to be needed that much anymore. It's not that it's not going to be needed. There's just too many people in that space. There's just a lot of people in that space for them to compete for the same amount of resources. However, artificial intelligence and machine learning project managers, data-driven product managers, digital transformation project managers, these are all roles that there's still a huge amount of demand, but the competency or the level of skills is very low. So if you want to go into the project delivery space, my advice, for example, if you want to go into project management or business analysis, as a foundation, you need to have data analysis and then artificial intelligence as your core. The only way you can actually, go over the competition and really have some type of edge over the competition is simply to add data analysis and artificial intelligence. Don't go into project management or product management just doing those one courses. I went to learn project management, or you went to learn product management. No, you have to learn data analysis. You have to learn business analysis. You have to learn artificial intelligence, AI, and then you can now become an AI and data-driven project manager, or AI and data-driven product manager, or AI and data-driven business analysis. As a mandatory stance, you must have that kind of core skill sets, because that's the only way you beat the competition. If not, everybody has a project management, a PMP or Prince 2 certificate somewhere that they're going to be using. So shift your emphasis on, and I'm going to talk about this in a second, but if you want to get into tech, if you want to get into project management, stop looking for entry-level roles. Start training for the high-end roles. Start training for the high-end roles. So, I've explained it not long ago. I will not go into project management today and go and do, what's it called? Project management. No, I will learn data analysis. I will learn project management, and I will learn artificial intelligence. That will be the foundation to actually get into project management or project delivery. And then, of course, you need to understand automation. Now, let's look at some of the technical courses, technical roles. Cybersecurity. Again, high demand, low supply. I've talked about it in some of the videos that I've done. If you're going into cybersecurity, starting your career as a SOC analyst to be able to sort of identify the threats that come in, provide the reports, and check with the relevant engineers, maybe tier 1, tier 2, or tier 3, whatever it is, the domain that you're working in. I honestly believe that it's not a good decision today for you to go into cybersecurity at an entry-level role. I really believe that if you're going to go into cybersecurity, you have to look at roles such as DevSecOps, roles such as cloud security, and then, if anything, if you want to go into GRC, you have to look at AI ethics and GRC as a combined. Anything to do with artificial intelligence, but anything at the high end. The world is now in what we call advanced class. We are not in in maths, in school, when I did maths, I did normal mathematics, arithmetics, and I did, what is it called? Basic maths. Today, we are in advanced class. So if you are coming in with the advancement of technology and artificial intelligence, and all you want to do is to just come in and, I'm going to go into cybersecurity. I want to be a SOC analyst. I want to be a pen tester. I want to be a cybersecurity analyst. There's too many people with that particular role applying for the same jobs. And those roles are going to diminish. Like I started my conversation, those roles are going to diminish. I'll talk about data analysis in a second. Those roles are going to diminish. The more and more artificial intelligence grows, all those high demand roles that in cybersecurity that we have today, they're going to gradually diminish, because we're going to use artificial intelligence and automation to be able to do a lot of the mandatory boring tasks that today we have people doing. we will automate it. Whether we like it or not, we will automate it. I was at the Cybersecurity Expo sometime this year, and I saw the competition between human SOC analyst and an AI SOC analyst. And by far, the AI SOC analyst, SOC analyst, was length and breadth higher and better than the human SOC analyst. There's still an element of human interaction that is required for you to work the AI tool, but fundamentally, that AI tool was way better to identify the threats, group it, contain, or do all the various incident response that necessary exercise that was necessary for them to operate and do their work, right? So my advice to anyone is, if you're going to go into tech, don't go for entry-level roles. What about data analysis? I would title it data science. I think data analysis as a role is an entry-level discussion for the data science world. But if you want to start with data analysis, my advice would be you master Python, SQL, some type of, what do you call it here? Visualization tool, so Power BI or Tableau. And then, of course, you've got to know Excel. But even that is a high demand, high supplied data science role. So I would advise you to fundamentally look more at data science, data engineering, and business intelligence analysis, where you are now providing strategic advice to the organization, or you are heavily involved in this conversation or narrative around artificial intelligence, machine learning, et cetera, et cetera. So the future of, again, for those of you that are joining, I think now we have quite a number of you here on TikTok, but I'm really talking about the future of the project management and the tech world. And I'm saying to you that in the next 1 to 3 years, you're going to see a reduction in entry-level roles and those low-level roles that can be automated. That will go. Either we will have very less people doing the job because we have automated it, or we have highly efficient people using automation to do the work, or those roles will naturally be subsidized to some type of robot to do it for us. So if you want to get into data science as a core, I think you should look at data scientist or a data analyst with some type of machine learning experience or data wrangling experience. But those are the core directions should be data science, data engineering, and business intelligence. What about artificial intelligence? Well, machine learning engineers are needed, AI research scientists, and then natural language processing specialists. And if you can see what I'm doing, I'm really talking about the fact that you need to focus on high-level roles that almost like require some level of advanced exercise. Let me give you an example. If you wanted to get into cybersecurity, you couldn't naturally just go and do DevSecOps. No, you need foundational cybersecurity. And then from there, you can now go and learn DevOps as a core concept and dev security operations. So in a way, I'm telling you that if you're going to go into tech and you're going to go and secure your future, think of tech as your bachelor's and your master's. Go for roles that are in the master's category. That's really what I'm saying. Go for master's category roles, because the entry level, the bachelor's roles where everybody is graduating from one program to another, to one discourse to another, that is a very highly saturated world. It's extremely saturated. It's still in demand, it's still needed, but it's extremely saturated. Those of you that are with me on Zoom, is it clear? Please let me know if it's clear. Okay, digital marketing, right? Digital marketing is also going to be a necessary skill set. It's fundamentally going to be here for some time. I think if you master artificial intelligence to a certain degree and you master automation, you're going to beat the competition, those of you that have agencies. But content creation, digital marketing is not going anywhere. And so digital marketing is going to be here. Software engineering. I listened to a podcast. I said at the beginning, the old ways of doing software engineering is gone. I was listening to a young guy who has a web agency or web development agency, and he still has clients. Very soon, just one link and boom, you can create a new website like that. I mean, today, ChatGPT has different offerings that allows you to create landing pages by just simply giving instructions. So the sphere of software engineering has changed. It's never going to be the same. Learning all the different languages and whatnot. Another 2 years maximum. 2 years is probably exaggerated, but another 2 years, for the sake of argument, for conversation here, we're going to see that all software engineering exercise is going to be English, where you literally just speak to the platform and tell the platform exactly what you want, and then it will create a lot of these things for you. So I think there's still opportunity between now and the next 3 years for you to have something. So full stack developers, DevOps engineers, and site reliability engineers, if you still want to go into the software engineering space, I would focus primarily into that area. Site reliability engineers, DevOps engineers, full stack developer, front end and all that stuff, learning front end and then back end. You're not going to get that much in terms of, return on investment. And then you're not going to have that much opportunities within the market space. So just a quick recap. If you're going into project delivery, I think as a foundational rule, you need to have data analysis and artificial intelligence. And the roles that you can sort of go for is AI and data-driven project manager, data-driven product manager, digital transformation lead. And then if you're going to go into the PMO space, make sure it has something to do with data analysis. If you are going into the project delivery space as a foundation, you need data analysis, and you need to be very strong with the use of artificial intelligence. If you're going into technical roles, my advice is don't waste your time on, the saturated market. Cybersecurity, everybody wants to be a pen tester or a SOC analyst or a cybersecurity, a security analyst. Those roles are too saturated. Those roles are too saturated. Those roles are too saturated. If you're going into data science or data analysis, I think it's a very saturated field. I honestly think that data analysis is very saturated, especially with the tools that we have today on what's it called, with the large language models. I do a lot of my data analysis work by simply importing my Excel and say, just tell me all that I need, right? So, gone are the days where this data analysis world was, like we said, data is the new gold or the new oil or whatever. It is still the same thing, but data analysis as a domain is a very saturated world. If you're going to go in there, you need to be exceptionally good at, all the various skills that is necessary. But if you must go into the data world, data scientist, data engineer, and business intelligence. And then artificial intelligence, like I said, machine learning, AI research scientists, and natural language processing. And then I've talked about software engineering and stuff. So how do you prepare for the future? Well, expect change. I think, the next 1 to 3 years, if you want to get into tech, hear me out correctly. It's probably the best time for you to get into tech. The next 1 to 5 years maximum. After that, the world is going to be run, the tech world is going to be run by a very select few. They will push more and more for automation and artificial intelligence to the point where very few people will control the tools that are needed and used within the world. So there's not going to be that much work within the tech. Tech used to be a very big industry, but I can assure you, tech, after the next 5 years, is not going to be as fanciful as we see it. I've got to be very honest with you. If you have eyes to see what is happening and you're paying attention to the world around you, tech as an industry within the next maybe 5 to 7 years is going to be run by very select few, right? Very, very select few, because they are going to automate everything. They're going to use artificial intelligence and robotics and whatnot for a lot of the work that they do. So unless you are among the best of the best, or unless you are among those that are building the large language models, the AI or machine learning tools that are actually running the world, you are not going to be part of that group. Okay? So, you know, I think this is the best time to get into tech or project management. After the next 7 years, you know, mark a lot of these things down. After the next 7 years, you're going to see that roles that require you to deal with human beings, roles that require you to deal with human beings, for example, a nurse or a teacher, or a lot of these roles, I've listed them. Those roles are going to come back to be the order of the day. For example, construction world, roles like nursing is better. Yes. The next 7 years, we're going to see a complete change in the roles that run the world. So that's what I'm saying. If you want to get into tech, this is the best time for you to get into tech. Between now and the next 7 years, I think it's a 7-year window where you can go in at the top, make as much money, and then quite honestly fight to be among those that are running the world or get out. Yeah, this is the reality that is coming. Because you're going to see something very interesting. You're going to see that major corporations, Heinz, Coca-Cola, all these companies and all of them, they are going to drive more and more for automation and artificial intelligence. Yeah. I'm looking for someone who can teach data analysis. Okay. So become adaptable. That's my first thing. Become very adaptable. Continuously learning, looking at what is happening in the world. That's very, very important for you to sort of understand that the direction of the world, this is where we are as a people. You know, we are going towards a world that is, I don't think we even know what is coming. What is coming is huge. What is coming is huge. You know, I'm a business person. I have a lot of different companies that I'm involved in. And I'll be very honest with you. When I think of the efficiency level that artificial intelligence and automation brings to the table for me, even me, I'm tempted to get rid of staff members so that I can do it myself. You know, so at an individual level, we can all see the benefits. Just think about companies that have hundreds and thousands of people building, you know, so many things. You're going to see that they will drive down more on efficiency. This is why I started my conversation by saying that their investment in IT has hit $5 trillion US. However, the reality is that the investment is going towards more and more the development of tools and technologies that ultimately are to drive inefficiency out of the businesses. You know, it's estimated in the UK that 3 million jobs will be displaced. 3 million. It was originally estimated at 8 million jobs. You know, so the reality is you need to become adaptable. If I were you, I will not plan for more than 7 years. If I want to get into tech, this is the best time. Get into tech, but get into those top trending technologies and get into industries and sectors that actually are going to be running the tools and the technologies of tomorrow. Don't just go and be doing anything. That's why I keep telling you, stop getting into highly demanded, highly supplied roles. You know, data analysis is a very good industry, but it's heavily it's a competitive field. I spoke to a gentleman who wanted mentorship in data analysis. I'm a data analyst. And he said he went for an interview. And the interview, ultimately, he had about 27 people, 30 people, I think 30 or 29 or whatever the case might be. And they're just looking for one data analyst, right? They're looking for one data analyst. And a lot of them, I think 25 or 26, he probably is on the call with us. And a lot of them are coming from programs that he himself has been on, where they've trained all of them with, Excel or, Power BI tools and all this stuff. Let me also say this. Those of you that teach Excel and, all these, standardized roles that ultimately can, it can be automated. I think you need to start looking around. You really need to start looking around for something better. So preparing for the future, adaptability, continuous learning, get some certifications, learn communication skills. I've said it a lot of time, learn how to communicate and start building more capabilities. You need to offer more. Where you work now, make sure that it's very hard for them to fire you or to sack you by offering more skills to the table, right? Offering more skills to the table. Solutions architect. By the way, if you are on TikTok, I'm not really answering questions on TikTok, but if you take anything from our conversation, it's the fact that you need to stop looking at high demand, high supplied roles and look at high demand, low supplied roles. I've also said that you have to become an expert in what you do. You can't just be a data scientist that just gets by. No, you have to be a data scientist that understands the landscape of the data science world very well, and be a specialist and a generalist at the same time. And then finally, develop the human skills necessary. All right, so we're coming to the end of it. Those of you on TikTok, I know there's quite a lot of you that came here on TikTok. Happy to see you all, but I'm with the ones on Zoom, so I'm going to be attending to them now and taking some questions from yourselves on Zoom. So those of you on Zoom, please, can I hear from you? Is it quite clear what we've shared here today? So why didn't all of you join on Zoom? Why is everybody on TikTok? Didn't you have the link? Please, if you're on Zoom and you can hear me, do you have any questions? Should I sign off on TikTok? I'm going to sign off on TikTok now, and then maybe later I'll be joining to answer some of your questions. So thank you very much, everyone, on TikTok, and we will catch up soon. And now, oh, wow. Okay. Hello, everyone here. Are you with me? Hello, everyone. Can you all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can I hear from you? Any questions? Is it clear what we've discussed?
Yes, it's very clear. Very clear.
Very
And
clear.
for myself, I would like to anyway, I just saw this today and I decided to join in. Currently not working in the IT firm or any IT. I'm a non-IT staff and I'm looking to transition. But I've been considering a lot of things, and because I've been seeing a lot of your videos and been making research to see which area I will I'll be able to dive into, because like you have said now, I've actually gone through some trainings on cybersecurity, but I find it very difficult and challenging because one of the things you said here is very true, because when I'm looking for jobs, I realize that these entry-level roles, there are so many people and it's quite difficult to break in. So one thing I picked is going into the top, let's say the management roles or the top roles in the cybersecurity. So I wanted to find
Yes.
out, is it okay for someone to just like I'm interested in all this let's say ethical hacking and all of that.
Yeah.
So is it okay for entry level to just start learning those kind of stuff, just to
Is it okay? I think it's the best thing. You see, you're going to spend time to learn. You might as well learn what is needed, right?
okay.
If you spend 6 months to a year learning SOC analyst, and if you spend 6 months to a year learning DevOps, it's the same brain that you're going to use. DevSecOps, sorry. It's just it will just be a little bit harder because you need to apply yourself a lot more, but you're not going to be able to see. This is my thing. There is really no reason to study to be a pen tester or a SOC analyst or a security engineer or whatever it is when you're sure that you're not going to find something to do. Like there's really no point, right? So
Okay. Yeah.
bite the bullet of needing to study whatever you need to study to get into those roles, because right now those jobs, there's too many people. I mean, I don't know how many people are applying for those roles. Just do a quick Google LinkedIn search and just type in any of those roles. When they put it out there in a space of 4 seconds, just go out and come back to your room. You'll see hundreds of applications, right? So bite the bullet and study what you need to study to go in. I think if you want to get into tech and you choose this methodology of going for the high-end roles, those roles, and high-end here, I'm talking about, you see, the thing is this, and I've said it, that you have to think about the roles that I'm talking about. It's like master's degree. You need to do a bit of bachelor's before you can go and do your master's, because it's a bit advanced. It's an advanced class. But that is the only sure way for you to get
Yeah.
number one, a job, and number two, a well-paying job that will be worth it in the end. It just means that the same amount of time you were going to waste to study SOC analyst or pen tester, you're going to use the exam, maybe an extra 2 months more to be able to learn to do cloud security or maybe DevSecOps. Again, the same with project management. It will take you 3 months to learn project management. Why don't you use another 2 months to learn artificial intelligence and data analysis? And then you are sure. Me, where I am, even if you don't like me, you can't get rid of me because I offer more than what you need. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Thank you. That'll
You
be all
there?
for now. Yeah. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
yeah. So that's the thing. And let me say this to all, you, because you joined. I don't know, we had quite a lot of people on TikTok yet. But this is for you guys. Let me say this. Let me be very honest with you. The world is changing. The world is changing very radically, tremendously. If you take the next 3 years, right? The next 3 years, you're going to see high levels of automation, high advancement in artificial intelligence. I was listening to a guy yesterday. He said, if you are in corporate, get out of corporate. Get out of corporate. And the reason is because any job that is office-based, where the work can be done by some type of artificial intelligence tool or can be automated, any business person is going to do it. Right? So the way you have to put yourself, what you have to do is to understand what is going on and accept the reality of it. And it's not just white collar. Even the guy on a farm somewhere is going to feel it. The only jobs, let me be honest with you, the only jobs that are safe in the future are jobs that require you to deal with human beings. This is why the Davidos of wherever, they don't even care what is happening with artificial intelligence because they need to deal with humans. Nurses and whatnot, those are the jobs that have that longevity that we are looking for in any, that's where there's a career. But even them, those that learn artificial intelligence and those that learn automation will do better in that space better. But between now and the next 7 years, it is probably the best time For you to get into these top trending technologies of today, I was telling my friend, make enough money, save, and start preparing for what is coming after 7 years. Because what is coming after 7 years, we have never seen it before. Even construction is going to be affected. I posted something yesterday where they're saying that in how many years we'll just see a lot of people, a lot of houses being built by artificial, what's it called? 3D printers and all this stuff. It's already happening. It's already happening. They are building. I know a company that builds with 3D, and it's happening. So there is no industry that is not going to feel it. But you have to know what is coming. Yesterday, I was lying down and I was saying, I don't think people even know what is coming. This thing is not about the tech industry. I'm using the tech industry because I operate in it, project management and tech and whatnot. But I'm telling you the future of work. And the future of work is either you are among the elites that are running the things that control the world, or you need to go and find something else to do. So, this is where we are. This is really what is happening. And the reality of it is that it's coming. It's coming, it's knocking, it's been knocking for the last couple of years, but it's here. It's here. I've built a statistical tool that helps us to do resource planning. In front of me, the managers because my team, I manage about 47 different people, 47 staff. And, we're looking at the resources and we're looking at the different stages of the individual projects and schemes and products that we're building. And, I was in what did they call it? An adjudication meeting where they were getting rid of somebody. And they were literally sitting down saying, this is all entry level. And we thought they were going to bring somebody else to come and do the job. They said, no, all of this has to go to, all the managers to do the job. They distributed the roles. So the entry level roles is gone. Those are looking for, I'm going to go into tech and do entry level and just get into tech. It's gone. Those roles are not coming back anymore. Either they'll give it to human beings to do or they'll use machines. That's why I say go for the other things. But there's money here, right? $5 trillion is not small money. It's the fact that we are in an advanced based economy and the old ways of doing things will not work. Any other question? Any other question? Please let me know you are here.
Sorry. Thank you so
Yes,
much. I have a question. I did computer networking, security.
yes.
It was just a certificate, but I need to advance in network specialist or network engineer. So
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the right decision for me to venture into that.
I mean, unless you're willing to work on data centers, is that the goal?
Yes.
Okay, well, then there's a huge market for you. But you have to understand that, the luxury of working from home and whatnot is not something you can entertain. Right? I mean, to a certain degree, maybe. But look, they are building lots of data centers around the world, and they're going to need a lot of data engineers, network engineers to work on these. So I think there's definitely opportunities. High demand, low supply. So yes, go for it. 100%. But you've got to be the best of the best when it comes to this. And maybe add an understanding of cloud, the whole cloud world, so that you are not just an engineer for network, but an engineer that understands. Because, what is data centers if it's not for cloud? Do you understand what I mean?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So I think there's definitely a demand in that space. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions? Okay. If there are no questions, then thank you very much for coming. I intend to do this regularly. I tested it out just to see what it is like. I think, there's a lot more people that join on TikTok directly to have this conversation. So maybe the next ones I will do it directly on TikTok and then answer questions as I go along. I'll probably follow some type of template and then be able to guide you all. But it's been a good test run for me. Um, my goal is to share this information with as much people as possible. I've already had the opportunity to share it with different circles and different industries and whatnot. But I really want to get my people to sort of see how they should organize and put themselves, So, I'm going to be sharing more. I'm going to be sharing more, but my content, you probably will see that my content is not going to be on these entry level roles anymore. Because quite honestly, I think nobody should be wasting their time on them. It's good to have some understanding of them. If you want to understand it, go to YouTube, watch some videos here and there. But I need to get people to be looking at what is really coming. So I'm going to be doing that a lot more and sharing with you all. But it's been a pleasure to have you all. Thank you very much and have a wonderful
Hello,
evening.
hello.
Yes.
Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening.
Thanks for the enlightenment. Thanks for the information. It's really a good one. So I would like to ask, yeah, I've been hearing like there's no more entry level like before. So how do we, for someone that is just coming into the tech, and like how do you get started? Like how do you get started in this role? Like now, for me now, or if I show my face, you will know me anyway. I started
Yeah,
I
you
started
can
with
tell with the
data.
voice.
I started with data analysis. I got fed up. Based on some of the things, I got fed up, and I got an opportunity to do a cloud training, and
Mhm,
then I went for that cloud training, and we major on M365 and Azure, IT
mhm.
support. So, and then the more you keep saying there's no more entry level, the more it keep ringing in my mind that then how do you get to that stage of me? Which actually I found out that it is true because when I check on LinkedIn, most of the jobs that come, you see mid senior, you see mid senior, mid senior. Then how do you like you need to start from somewhere, you know? How do you start from somewhere to get to that mid level? And most
Okay.
of these job requirement, they will list 3 years experience, 4 years. How do you get that experience when you don't start at the entry level before you move to the mid level? So how do we go about this?
Okay. That's a very good question. I know who's talking, by the way. Um, Let me say this, right? If you know that you're going to say you're going to walk from here to Birmingham versus you're going to walk from here to London, you ask the question, how are you going to get there? First, it was walking from here to central London. And then to go to from here to Birmingham, which is longer, you also need a roadmap, right? You need a roadmap for both of them. Birmingham will still require you to go through London. So I'm not saying don't study the entry level stuff. I'm saying understand that when you finish studying the entry level stuff, you'll probably be out for another 1 year. I used to say people should wait, things will get better. But now I'm not saying that because I am seeing the development in artificial intelligence and automation. And I'm beginning to really know that we are not going backwards. So first is to get the roadmap that will require you to know the basics. The second is the element of experience and skill sets. The only way you will get these skill sets, for example, if you're a data analyst and you want to get into data science, and I'm advising you to go towards more the data science world, well, you have to build projects. How? Artificial intelligence. Now, let me show you something. Let's do a test run. Please, are you all here? You can all hear me, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm going to do something for you to see right now. All right. So I'm going to, hi, Gemini. I want to learn about DevSecOps. And I want you to teach me the basics of DevSecOps in simple terms. Talk to me.
The whole software development process from the very beginning. Instead of adding security at the end, like a last-minute afterthought, it's built into everything the whole time. Think of it like baking a cake. You wouldn't wait until the end to add the eggs, right? It's the same idea with security in DevSecOps. It's part of the recipe from the start.
Okay, now I am a newbie. I don't know a lot about it, and I want to build projects that I can show to my recruiter. Where do I start from?
All right, so to start building projects that showcase your DevSecOps skills, you'll want to focus on demonstrating that you understand how to integrate security into the development process. Here are a few project ideas. First, try creating a simple web application using a framework like Flask or Django. As you build it, incorporate security features like input validation, encryption, and authentication. This shows you understand how to bake security into the code from the start. Next, think about setting up a basic CI/CD pipeline with security checks built in. You could use tools like Jenkins or GitLab CI/CD to automatically test your code for vulnerabilities as you make changes. This demonstrates your ability to automate security testing. Finally, a project focused on infrastructure as code, IAC, would be really impressive. Use tools like Terraform or Ansible to create secure cloud environments. This shows you understand how to bake security into the very foundation of your applications. Does that sound like a good starting point?
It does, but I'm completely lost. So what I want you to do is to give me a transcript of everything that you have said, and then also give me some links of the websites that I can go and do everything that you've explained to me. Okay? Now, what I just did here, this is something that I do myself lately, is I use artificial intelligence. And this is why the element of lack of experience is no longer really a problem, because you can use these AI tools to build any kind of case study, any kind of context, you can literally work with the AI to teach you this thing from ground up. You don't need what you think you need. You don't. You have a teacher at home sitting next to you on your phone that can explain every single thing to you. And you take notes. That's why even the teaching skills and teaching requirements, very soon, teachers will have to rethink. Right? I go online and I download. I want to study DevSecOps in 18 weeks. Provide for me a curriculum that I need to learn. And then provide me the details about it. Provide me all the tools and links and resources that I need. Provide me this. Then I sit down and I have this person and I'm talking through it with him or whoever it is and literally running through everything. And then asking what are the resources I can use for experience, for this, for that, for this. And it tells me, I do my assignment, I send it back to him. He just checks it and says, no, it's not right. This is right. This is wrong. Is that clear?
Sir.
Is that clear? Is that
Yes,
helpful?
sir. Yes, sir.
So even though we are in advanced class, as it were, the tools for you to get into that advanced class is sitting right next to you. Please, those of you that are around, did you understand what I just did? So you want to understand anything, it doesn't matter. You can understand a PhD degree sitting in your house. You can use it to actually build all the case studies. I have people asking me, what case studies can I work on? Every case study, in fact, the AI tool will build the case study tool for you, will build everything that you need, and will explain it to you. This is where we are. When you see the power of these things, you know what is coming is not joke. So I can sit in the comfort of my room and learn cybersecurity, DevSecOps, and learn data science, and see all the visuals, everything that I need to see to be there in front of me. And all the tools, all the things you need for experiences, everything is there. So, yeah, this is where we are. And this is where the world is going. This is where the world is going. This is where the world is going. I wish I could show you some things. When I was studying for my, where is it? If I can find it. This is my cybersecurity. I was doing my CISM, Certified Information Security Manager. And I literally just downloaded all the questions, screenshotted it, and put it on the artificial intelligence to give me the answers. And then I told it to explain it to me, and I went and I passed. I've got my certificates. If you like, go on LinkedIn, you will see it. Certified Information Security Manager. There's nothing difficult anymore. Please, is it clear?
Yes, sir. Very
Yes,
clear.
sir. Yes.
Very clear.
Yes. You can get more certifications now. You can get a lot more certifications. You can just get so many certifications today. You can pass anything. There's a body that requires you to do some write-up. You just get it, AI to do it. You edit it yourself a little bit. Boom, it's done. You do this. There's enough. So, you know, I'm going to finish this session with you guys. And then I'll go. I have a class that I'm studying myself, right? I have my notes there. I can't get up. If not, I would have gotten up and come and show you. I downloaded all the curriculum and everything from there, and I'm studying with the AI. I'm studying with it. It's explaining to me what I don't know. And then when it comes to projects, I'm telling it to tell me the project. For some of them, I'm telling you to build the project for me and explain the project to me. So, you know, there isn't really, the world is changed forever. It will never come back. Wait till automation kicks in, because it hasn't really started. Automation is what is going to make some of these Coca-Cola, you just hear Coca-Cola has just made 50% of their staff members redundant. Very soon. It's gone. You know, any other questions? Because I have to go out very soon. But I think it's clear, right? Those of you that are here, it should be clear for you.
Yes, sir. It's very clear.
Yes.
Sir,
It is. Thank you very much.
can I message you on your WhatsApp? We have things to discuss.
Message me. Message me.
All right, sir. Thanks. Thanks so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Anybody else? All good? Can we go? Okay. Thank you very much, guys. Have a wonderful evening. Like I
Thank
said,
you, sir.
And you too,
moving
sir.
forward,
Thank
I'll
you,
do
sir.
it directly on TikTok. You see, it's probably easier for me to demonstrate some things here, but I think I'll do it on TikTok so that everybody will, those of us that were not able to join, can be able to join on TikTok. All right. All the best. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
All right, sir. Thank you so much, sir.